last night I watched Don't Worry Darling, the new Olivia Wilde with Florence Pugh and Harry Styles and Chris Pine, Olivia Wilde, Kiki Lane, Nick Kroll, Asif Ali, Timothy Simmons, Douglas Smith, based on a screenplay by Kate Silberman, who also wrote Olivia Wilde's previous film, Booksmart, which is, it feels disingenuous to say that it's just the female version of Superbad because it is its own thing and it's really great in what it does and how it does it. But at the same time, I don't really think that's an insult because Superbad is so fucking good. And I think that Booksmart is as good as Superbad. It's really funny. It's really well shot. Olivia Wilde clearly loves and cares for the characters a lot, understands that kind of new late millennial, centennial lifestyle and the struggles that they go through. And she has a really interesting just twist on kind of movie, because instead of it being like Superbad, two losers who are trying to have the night of their life, this is two kids who have just spent their whole life just studying, doing the right thing, never really having like a wacky adventure, decide, shit, it's the last day of school, we've got to have a wacky adventure before we go to college, because they might not go to the same school, they might do their own thing, and that's the kind of twist that they put on it, and it's great. I love it. The best part of that movie is, Billie Lourd is the best part of that movie. She plays Gigi, who is just this eccentric rich kid who just does whatever the fuck she wants at any whim that she wants, and she is hilarious. And I really hope that she does more. She's in the new American Horror series, I think, so hopefully that gets her more gigs, because she is really, really hilarious in Booksmart. But anyway, Don't Worry Darling is the follow-up. Booksmart came out in 2019, so 3 years later. This was shot during COVID, which seems like a pretty easy way, an easier production during COVID, considering it's a pretty small cast, they're pretty secluded, they shot this in Palm Springs, and it seemed like they could get away with that better than most films. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff about the film before the film even came out, like some production stuff about Shia LaBeouf was originally meant to be in it, and then was replaced by Harry Styles because Olivia Wilde didn't want him part of it, but then it turned out that Olivia Wilde begged him to stay while he left on his own accord, and it was this whole thing, and then Florence Pugh and Olivia Wilde hated each other, and there was a thing about Harry Styles and Chris Pine spitting on themselves, and then Olivia Wilde being served Jason Sudeikis during a press tour, which happened, which is kind of funny. But besides all of that, I don't know how much of that is really real and how much of that is just trying to get people to talk about the movie, because it works. People talking about this movie. This movie made quite a bit of money. It made its budget back this weekend, just opening weekend alone, so that's something. But anyway, after all the preamble, the film itself is about a 1950s housewife living with her husband, utopian experimental community, and she starts to realize that things seem to be a little off. Things aren't really what they seem, and there's something bubbling underneath the surface that she starts questioning people around her and how much she can trust them. This kind of starts because Kiki Lane's character, everyone in the beginning of the film said she had a nervous breakdown. People aren't allowed to walk past the certain line into the desert. They say that's forbidden zone. Just stay in the Victory area. Stay safe. It's good. Don't go off there. There's no reason to. And she does that on her own with her kid. Her kid then disappears. Kiki Lane comes back and just says that everything's bad. Don't trust anyone. Don't trust anything. And everyone around is just saying, oh no, she's just delirious. She just needs to take her pills. She's not taking her medicine. That's the issue. Because of that, Florence Pugh starts to notice more and more things happening, more and more things that just don't really seem to be what they are. Who can she trust? Who can't she trust? The film itself is kind of interesting. I don't really want to say Black Mirror because it's the very easy cliche thing to say. It's just, this is a feature-length Black Mirror episode that feels a little bit toothless in its satire. It definitely has a lot to say about the woman's evolving role in society and how women can be trapped if they don't take action into themselves to give themselves agency, to give themselves a purpose in life. There's definitely a lot of looks into that, which I find very interesting and impressive. The twist I saw coming from about the first 5 minutes in. I do think that's a problem because it does mean that the rest of the film feels like it's just kind of existing while you wait for the twist to happen. I think that Florence Pugh was great. I think Chris Pine was really great. I think Kiki Lane did a really good job. Olivia Wilde I don't think is the greatest actress in the world, but I think she did fine for her role. Harry Styles. Say what you want about Shia LaBeouf. The wrongs to say about Shia LaBeouf. I don't think he's a very good person. I don't think he's demonstrated, despite his obviously traumatic and rocky bringing, I don't think he's allowed to get any benefit of the doubt for the bad things that he has done, because he clearly has mental issues and that is affecting others. So saying all that, Shia LaBeouf would have been a better choice than Harry Styles. Would have played this character with a lot more depth and a lot more nuance and there would have been a lot more to it, and I think it would have been a better film if Shia LaBeouf was in that. Talking about it as strictly as an acting performance, I think Shia LaBeouf would have given a lot more weight to that character than Harry Styles did. Harry Styles is a good personality. He does have a lot of personality in himself and as a performer. So watching him perform in it, he is very charming. You want to like this guy. That's what Harry Styles brings to roles, and he does that very well. And I think he tried pretty respectively in the character and trying to build a good character, but at the end of the day, I think there is a little bit of a mismatch between Florence Pugh's performance and Harry Styles' performance, especially considering how much time they have to spend around each other. It kind of shows how good of an actress Florence Pugh is and how Harry Styles just isn't really there yet. The filmmaking is very pretty. I think that it's shot very well. I think that the film is filmed in the right style. It has that very utopian, dreamlike feeling, but where everything's just like a little bit too perfect. So from the start, it creates that sense of like, this looks really nice, but it shouldn't. So I think from that sense, they did a really good job. The story itself it wasn't layered enough, I think, is where it really comes down to. Is it was too simple and a bit too toothless with its satire to really carry a star-studded A-list 2-hour film. Definitely has something on its mind. It's definitely interesting in its own some way. It's an interesting film to think about, but it doesn't really leave you with much afterwards. I don't think it's the worst movie in the world. I know the reviews out are awful. Everyone's shitting on this movie, and I don't really want to be another nail in it, because I hope Olivia Wilde doesn't get discouraged and still makes films, because I think she's an interesting voice. I think she makes interesting movies. I just think that this isn't... It's a strange follow-up to Booksmart, and I don't think it really hit the mark, so... Sorry, Olivia Wilde.